So my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, you need to know that disease of the heart, anger, it happens to everyone, Muslim and non-Muslim. But the Prophet ﷺ, he didn't leave us without an answer to cure this problem, subhanAllah. He gave us ways to deal with anger. Each and every one of us feels this. So what do I do as a Muslim to control myself when I get angry? Number one, the Prophet ﷺ, he explained to us to say some simple words. Simple words, subhanAllah. But the problem is, at the time of anger, am I able to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. This is very hard for some people. Even though when you're hearing this, you say, yeah, that's easy. I should be able to do this. But at the time when you're angry, it is the hardest thing to do, subhanAllah. The Prophet ﷺ, he was walking and he saw two men, and they were fighting and they were cursing at one another. And the Prophet ﷺ, actually the hadith stated that the men's faces became red and their veins were popping out. That's how angry they were. And the Prophet ﷺ said, I know some words. If these men said it, the feeling that they have, this anger that they have inside of them, if they said these words, it would go away. And then he said, if they said, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Very, very, very simple. First, you're seeking help from whom? From Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who created us. And that's what we need. Whenever we're in any issue, no matter what it is, we need help only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and putting our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, we're trying to abstain from whom? The evil accursed shaitan, who wants you to be destructive, who wants to see you fight. So we need to remember these golden words, subhanAllah, and seek refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the evil shaitan. Another advice the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he gave, he said, if any of you become angry, let him stay silent. If any of you become angry, become upset, become itchy, stay silent. Why? When any of us become angry, the first thing we do is speak. We don't hit straight away, we say words. Either we try to understand and we lose it and we want to say swear words, or we abuse, or we curse. The Prophet ﷺ said to you, be quiet, stay silent. Because if you can stay silent, you might sit back and reflect. Think about the words, think about the act. If I say something, it may become worse. The situation may become worse, subhanAllah. So when you're angry, just stay silent, subhanAllah. And the next advice the Prophet ﷺ he gave, the Prophet ﷺ said, if any of you become angry and he is standing, sit. If you're angry and you're standing, he told us ﷺ to sit. And if your anger still hasn't gone from you, to lie down. The Prophet ﷺ said the strongest man is the one when he gets angry and his face is red and his emotions rise and he's able to defeat his anger, subhanAllah. Now some of you may be thinking, it's not that easy. I want to put you in the place of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ one day. A Bedouin came, and the Bedouin are rough and tough. A Bedouin man came, and the Prophet ﷺ was wearing a cloak, and it had a very thick collar. The man came up to him and grabbed the Prophet ﷺ very tough. He pulled him by the shirt like this, by his cloak. And the Sahaba said we could see the redness on his skin from the marks. That's how hard this man was pushing. And this Bedouin said to the Prophet ﷺ, give me of the wealth that Allah has given you. The Prophet ﷺ hasn't done nothing wrong to this person. So he's coming wanting money. Any of us would have hit this person. Any of us would have smashed this person. We would have cursed him and his family. What do you think the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did? He smiled and he said, give him from the wealth. Not the Prophet ﷺ, he was not scared. He had the ability to do whatever. But he had to tame himself, and he had to teach us. When we're in such situations, we don't act. We calm down, we think, use your brain. Many times, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, many times our actions as Muslims turn people off Islam. A man came up to the Prophet ﷺ, and you have to understand how the Prophet ﷺ worked. If someone came and sought advice, he would deal with that individual with the problem that he had. This man came and he said, oh Messenger of Allah, advise me. He said, don't become angry. He took that advice. He said, Ya Rasulullah, advise me. He said, don't become angry. He said it 7 times, and the Prophet ﷺ kept saying to this man, do not become angry. And this narration is in Bukhari, in Imam Ahmad's Musnad. We find the man saying, I thought about what the Prophet ﷺ said, and I realized that anger combines all kinds of evil. It hit him in the head after what the Prophet ﷺ said to him, that this issue that he had of anger could ruin him.